I was thinking about this the other day, and I work with business leaders, consultants, and entrepreneurs, people like you and I, who are used to winning, right? They've got the career, the lifestyle, the family, everything is pretty much dialed in. And yet they are still stuck in chronic pain, stiffness, and can't really move without fear of injury. So most of them done everything they could, from physio, Pilates, mobility, rehab, strength training, you name it. And it does work for a couple of weeks, but then, bam, they're right back when they started. And listen, I simply get them out of pain by shifting their approach to pain. And that's it. Not by adding more exercises at them, telling them to strengthen their specific muscle or get used to it because they're old. And listen, the shift comes from changing the way they approach pain altogether. And you can take Alex, a personal trainer, so he knows movement inside out, everything about movement. And he still had chronic back pain and hip pain for years. And now, after us working together, he's hitting PRs and running pain-free again. Or you can think about Scott. He's a golf tax planner, couldn't get through 18 holes without back pain, really severe back pain, and feeling it for days after playing. And now he plays without thinking about it, and he's actually excited about training again because he just trusts his body. And both of them, less than 6 months, just one big belief shift. But before I go into more details, I want you to give you a little bit of a backstory. So I grew up doing every sport my dad could put me into. I ended up spending 10-ish years in competitive show jumping. Then I get into weightlifting. Outside of sport, I am a neuroscientist, then a strategy consultant, solving $1 million problems for the private sector clients. And at some point, I was even an in-person PT and a clinical Pilates teacher. So I could fix anything except my own back and then my hips. And it definitely wasn't for lack of trying, because like I said, I am super ambitious, you super ambitious, very driven, and all that. So you can probably relate to it. But yes, I was doing all the right things, but I was still in pain, still avoiding certain movements because I just couldn't trust my body. And I felt awful. I was not just in pain. I was frustrated, I was scared, I was literally losing my mind because I couldn't focus on the things that I love. And yeah, you can probably say that I love training. I love moving, but I also love business. I love working hard, And because of that situation, I couldn't focus on the things that really mattered to me. I was just obsessed over getting out of pain, and that's it. It was taking so much energy out of me, right? And that's exactly what pushed me into looking at the whole system and not just one sore spot, that one spot that hurts. And here we go. I ended up on here, on YouTube, running my own business as a clinical movement coach, helping people like me, business leaders, get out of chronic pain, also like me. And you may think, oh, another physio, another movement coach, online guru, whatever. Well, let me just tell you this. The reason I do what I do and I get the best results in the industry is because I've done exactly that. And I thought exactly what you're thinking right now. And then I realized there's no one there to help me. There's no one to rescue me. Okay? So let me tell you what actually works. First, we have to start with the actual problem, because almost every solution you've tried is built on this idea that you fix pain by targeting the part that hurts. Shoulder pain, glute pain, back pain, yes, you target shoulder, glute, hip, whatever, right? You stretch that tight area. Maybe you strengthen that weak muscle around it. You can tape it, you can ice it, you try to support it. But the spot that hurts It's often just when your body is losing the argument in this whole conversation that we're having right now. The problem is happening somewhere else. So let me give you an oversimplified example, okay? Imagine that your left glute isn't properly engaged and activated when you go squat or you do a lunge, something very simple, right? Your lower back is going to step in to help. It has to, because bodies are smart, right? Our bodies are smart, and this is what's going to happen. And that's called compensation, okay? So when you keep moving like that, in the gym, on the golf course, playing tennis, playing with your kids, being in a meeting, before and after meeting, even walking through an airport, like literally, you get the point. Anyway, you training that faulty pain pattern into your system, right? You're making it even stronger so that it actually becomes you. And this is why you can plank, you can bench, and you can stretch your hamstrings or whatever it is forever, but the pain will still come back, because none of those fix the fact that your system, right, what we spoke about in the beginning, your system, your whole body isn't coordinating properly. Your body is not working as one whole. It's working in parts, in faulty parts. So let me give you another example. It's literally like hiring salespeople to do more sales when the real problem is that your product doesn't work in the first place. So yes, maybe you'll get a little bit, just bump in numbers, a few sales here and there, but the complaints keep coming again and again and again, right? So your body doesn't work in parts. Think of it as every movement is a conversation between your joints, your muscles, and also your nervous system, right? Like think the brain. Isolated drills train pieces of that conversation. And pain comes from how your whole body works together, not just one muscle. How your whole body works together, not just one muscle. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's very, 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 very important. If that pattern doesn't change, the pain will come back as soon as you move in real life. In the gym, outside the gym, during the meeting, outside the meeting, whatever. So now, let me tell you what actually works. So we established that the fix isn't more strength or more mobility, more this, throwing exercises at you that clearly don't work. It's teaching your body to work as one unit again. Think of it like this. And this is just 1% of the whole picture, right? But I want to give you as much value as I can in a very not overcomplicated way. So your spine, pelvis, ribs, your rib cage have to move in the right way together, right? So these isolated parts have to work in the right way together so that your lower back isn't doing the job of something else, some other part. For example, your hips, right? Every time you sit, every time you stand, bend, whatever, any sort of movement. Another very important thing is your deep core. Your deep core, your deep muscle have to switch on before you lift, before you twist, before you run, before you go into that meeting and after. Because otherwise that load will get dumped somewhere else in the wrong place, right? Remember what I said earlier, your body is a super, super, super smart system. It's not stupid, right? And last but not least, your rotation. So any sort of rotational movements, right? Think of it as like when you move, we don't just move in one plane, right? We bend, we rotate and everything, especially when you play golf, for example, or you go to the gym. There's different movements that our body has to be used to, right? And ready for. So that rotation has to be balanced on both sides so that one side isn't taking every golf swing, every lunge, or literally anything for the rest of the body. Because then we again end up in these compensation patterns, right? And this is exactly why my clients see results so fast. Because we're not just making a muscle stronger in isolation. We're rebuilding the whole chain, the whole system, under the same conditions that my clients live in and train in. And most importantly, we make it sustainable. Because I should have said it in the beginning of this video, I don't think any drills are bad. Obviously, when you do it wrong or they unnecessary, then yeah, you're gonna hurt yourself, or you're literally gonna waste time and money and everything, right? Because you're doing something that clearly just it's not for you, right? But this is what I want you to take out of this. It's not that I'm blaming, glute bridge lunge, whatever, goblet squat is wrong. I use them as well, and I train as well. But it's this like little approach to pain, approach to your body that has to happen here, right? And for example, for Alex, that meant retraining how his hips and ribcage shared load before we even worried about his weak muscles or running mechanics, right? Because he's a runner, he's really into running. For Scott, it meant rebuilding rotation and core timing. So every swing when he was playing wasn't hurting his lower back more and more, right? And when that system works, your body works as a whole, the pain has literally nowhere to live and it's not gonna stay. So here's the takeaway from this video. If you are stuck in this cycle of pain, fix the spot, feel better, load it, and then you're back in pain again, trust me, it's not because you're not disciplined and you didn't do the right things. It's because no one's shown you how to rebuild this system so it stays fixed. It stays, not just for 1 hour, 1 week, 3 weeks, whatever, for life, right? So you have all the tools, you have that knowledge, so you can fix that yourself, right? And you're not depending on anyone else. And when you do that, right, you stop planning your life around flare-ups. You stop planning your life around pain and whether you can do this, whether you can do that, or what's my physio gonna say, like, is it in my training plan or something, right? You stop negotiating with your body before every activity, before every meeting. You're not asking it like, oh, is it going to be okay? Like, you know. And even if you don't know, then you know what to do about it. Because you have that clear roadmap, okay? You have to build that trust in your body. And once you build that trust in your body, the way you train, play, have fun, travel, and live will completely change. And yeah, listen, if this resonates with you, you can drop a comment below or go to my Instagram and just drop me a message, M. And yeah, I'll reach out to you and see if I can help. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please take notes. Please rewatch it as many times as you need. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments as well. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you. Thank you.